Okay. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Give me 1 second. I just lost the agenda.
You'll pull it up for you?
Yeah, I've got it now. I had it here and then it disappeared. So I just want to call today's meeting to order for Monday, April 10th, 2023. Let's do a roll call. So Paolo, I'm here. Mary Lou.
Yes, I'm here.
And Grace.
Here.
Great. And as of 4:00, Philip's not here. As of 4:06 p.m., Philip is not in yet. So I didn't I didn't send out confirmation to see who's coming and who's not coming. So he might not make it at all. Do we have a call to audience, Jody?
We did not receive any comment.
Yes, we were supposed to have a scheduled meeting today and there were no projects to review. So we're doing design guidelines.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So I had missed. Oh, go ahead, Jody.
The minutes were on there too. Did you want to?
Oh yeah, number 2, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't get a chance to review those yet. Oh no, I did review those. So I can make a motion to approve those. Do we have a second?
I'll second it. I had a chance to look at them.
Yep. So minutes from March 27, 2023 have been approved. Sorry for the skip around. So the last design guideline meetings, I wasn't here, so I'm not sure where you guys left off. You know, Grace, you've been running these meetings, so I don't know if you want to just give me a quick update of where we're at and we can go from there.
Yeah, we are right at the end, I believe. Let me share.
I think.
Are you guys seeing the guidelines?
Yeah.
So
They just disappeared though, Grace.
Oh shoot, okay. There we go.
Hi everyone, this is Philip.
Hey Philip.
Hey Philip.
Okay.
Oh, this is the full board.
It is.
So we wrapped up here at views and vistas.
Page 34.
Correct. So I'm not sure, I think Mary Lou might be able to speak to this, but I think these are directly from the Secretary of Interior, these definitions.
The overreaching historic preservation standards. Is that what we're talking? Yeah, it is.
Okay. Maybe there's not much to improve on that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how much we want to.
But should we make it
differentiate
clear?
ourselves?
Are we making clear where it is from, or is it
Yeah,
like?
Yeah, there was it was supposed to be, or it was going to be, I think, footnoted, and there was a set of references at the very back. And I don't know. Let's see.
So you only have 2 of the standards. You only have preservation and rehabilitation. You don't have reconstruction.
Addition, whatever.
Why do we always get the one? Reconstruction, preservation, rehabilitation, restoration. No. Yes. 4 standards. And I always manage to forget one.
Sorry, Jody, would you repeat that? It's
It says that we're not having all the standards. Well, there's 4 strategies that are addressed in the standards, and apparently we're not addressing all of them.
Yeah, they're not all here.
Yeah,
And
it's preservation,
reconstruction.
reconstruction, rehabilitation, and repair.
Yeah. And I'm not
That's
sure
true.
why they're not.
Preservation, rehabilitation, restoration, and reconstruction. That's what it
I mean,
says.
for the most, like 99.9% of the time, you guys deal with rehabilitation.
Yeah.
But it just seems funny if you mention 2.
Oh, let's just put all 4 down.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, in the guidelines that I have all 4 of them down there. Did they go
Okay.
away? But I don't know what page it's on because they originally didn't have page numbers.
Yeah. And I'm missing that section altogether for some reason
are?
in my copy.
I have it here. It's towards the end, but I just don't know what page number it is.
Just
I have a
thought,
question here. Yeah, go ahead.
because there's a lot of text with the 4 standards. Did you want to like spell them out, or did you want to provide links? I mean, they don't change that often, but occasionally they do change. Usually it's like a wording here or there or something like that.
I think we should provide links if we have that option.
Yeah, I think links would be great. I mean, there should be like a definition and then a link to it.
Yeah. And then don't they address, I remember reading them always also for when you do an addition or so, like how the new fits with the old, they address that too.
The end of rehabilitation, they have one of the standards, not creating a false sense of history is in there.
Yeah.
But Secretary of the Interior has technical briefs that actually expand on doing an addition to a residential house or a commercial. It's typically like there's other guidance out there too, not just the standards.
Right. But that false sense of history, I think that should be in here.
Yeah. I may expand on that language, but yeah, that's rehabilitation.
In rehabilitation. But it doesn't, not here.
Don't read it.
Are you?
No, I'm reading it, but I don't see about creating this false sense of history to not do it.
Oh.
I'm not through with it.
Don't make me look it up.
I mean, it doesn't really address it. It's under rehabilitation. It is the act or process of taking possible a compatible new use for a property through repair, alterations, and additions, while preserving those portions or features which convey its historical, cultural, or architectural values. And I don't see anything about.
Yeah. So it's all up to interpretation, but number 9 is new addition, exterior alterations, or related new constructions will not destroy historic materials, features, or spatial relationships that characterize property. The new work shall be differentiated from the old and be compatible with historic materials, feature, size, scale, proportion, massing to protect the integrity of the property and its environment. So it loosely gets interpreted as don't create a false sense of history.
Number 9.
But when you start to read into other expanded works, that's kind of a little bit more spelled out.
What would be one of those works? So Grace, this was already in there, or did you just copy paste?
It was already in there. So
Oh,
we
okay.
have up top definitions and then separately standards. And then there's 1 to 7 or 10 of each of those.
Oh yeah, the new work shall be different generally also. Okay, good. Yeah, I think this is clear enough on my end.
I do too. On that same page at the top, I don't know if I'm reading this correctly, but it looks like the number 8, archaeological resources, is that a typo? 8, should that be 7, or does that?
This one's 7.
Okay, so it's read like that. Okay. So you're not reading this vertically, you're reading it across. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Okay, I got it.
So do we want to add the other 2? Insert the other 2 here?
I would. What, reconstruction and restoration, is that it?
Well, it's a repair, I think. That's what's on the sheet I have.
Yeah.
But in the
preservation, reconstruction, rehabilitation, repair.
Well, but this, I don't know where you're reading, but are you reading that in the standards?
Well, I don't have the standards in front of me. I'm reading the guidelines that we started with.
Maybe not. Yeah, it seems the standards say preservation, rehabilitation, restoration, and reconstruction.
Can you repeat? So what is it again, Philip?
It's in the chat.
In the what?
Chat. Also, Grace, you have it already on the page.
Yes. Oh, where'd it go? Too far.
1 page up, yeah. 35 probably. Yeah. Or 34. Oh, yeah, there. You see it?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
All on there. Yeah.
So yeah, we can make a note, and then down the line I can pull those from the Secretary of Interior website. As long as we're comfortable, quoting it verbatim, or if we want to make some modifications, I can try to find it right now.
I'm okay with verbatim.
Verbatim, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem.
But then really make clear that we are copying and which part, right? And I can't open it. It really sucks my internet. So there. NPS.
So we can skip through the Secretary of Interior then. The next section is City of Tucson standards.
Okay. Where does this come from? Is that also out of the Armory Park translated to us, or is this the old?
Which part are you talking about?
The City of Tucson standards.
No, that was an intro that was drawing from a couple of different sources,
Okay.
specifically for our district.
Yeah. I think it reads good.
I do too.
Somewhere do we have the definition for TSM?
What is, I don't know what that is.
Technical standards manual. I can add that.
Oh.
Okay, or an HPZ?
Yeah,
We do have
it's mentioned in
definitions
the
down
top. Yeah.
here.
No, it's in the top, first sentence.
Okay.
Let's see if the other one is here.
Hmm.
No, it is not.
And then HPZ, I don't know if we've done that.
At the very top.
Oh.
Okay.
And right at
Oh, I see it. Okay.
yeah, just below that, Grace, at the top of page 37, became a national registered district. I mean, should that be capitalized? Sounds like a proper noun. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone?
I usually capitalize national,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I have historic in between register and district.
National Register Historic
Or district. District.
Historic.
That seems good to me, the rest of that.
Okay.
So since it references the technical standards manual, I'm thinking we should back check and make sure that we're not in conflict at all. Maybe that's a task for the review, you know, incorporating all these changes and then also making that analysis.
Yeah, how's when we do that? Do you want to just write in here need fact checking needed, and then we split up responsibilities?
Yeah, I thought there was a way. I think I've commented before. I'm just not remembering how to do it.
Yeah, insert maybe, or tools. Oh. Insert didn't have it, or?
I wasn't selecting anything. That was my fault. Here we go. So do we don't address the purpose at the beginning?
Yes, we have a lot of which purpose. At the beginning of this whole, the guidelines?
Yeah.
I think we do. This is more of a repetition, no? This is a summary. I take a bit of an issue with this sentence here.
Which where you have
Which
highlighted?
one?
If an item is beyond repair, consider solutions that look historic based upon the development zone.
Yeah, I was looking at that too.
Like, what's the thinking here? Item is very vague. Like,
Yeah, I think we should remove
is that
it
like a
completely.
part
Yeah,
of the
that's-
building, or is that just a little piece of wood?
that gets open to interpretation and we're in trouble.
Yeah. I think the sentence before says it, and then we go back to code. I mean,
Yeah, that's great. Right to the point.
yeah, the next one is fine, I think. Mhm. Very good.
Yeah, I'm good with that page.
This second to last reminds me, often we can comment on waiving the setback requirement. The second to last. Is that something that we address anywhere in here in the guidelines? You guys?
I think we do talk about that somewhere, but we should check that. But I think I do remember that.
Because that's definitely something where we're not guaranteeing it, but we're addressing.
Here we go.
Yeah. This is compatibility. Are we saying anywhere that we can?
I think I remember something that we can waive setbacks.
Maintain.
I'm thinking that would go maybe in an explanation of the process rather than in the
Yeah, it would be
guidelines.
earlier. You mean
What we were just working on.
Yeah, that section is coming in at the end, though. I wonder if it should be moved. Oh, sorry, Philip.
I think so. I'll move closer up. What was that you highlighted at the top? I think the second thing into the table of contents, Grace.
That's where I was
Somebody
thinking
had
maybe
the
that information goes.
Historic design review process. I mean, I don't know if what we've just been working on should be moved up underneath that. Or maybe we should look at that to see how much repetition there is.
You mean the whole thing now, or?
Yeah, I think there's that design review process at the beginning of the guidelines, and then we were just on page 37 or 38.
Yeah.
To begin before you do anything. I mean, I think.
Yeah, that's a good way to start.
Yeah, I think it should all be moved up underneath that or incorporated into that.
I always thought that this was a summary at the end, but yeah, maybe that's fine too.
Yeah, if you've mentioned that, Philip, that makes sense too. What comes after that we were just working on? So
it's like a list of stakeholders and then terms of reference.
Yeah, terms of reference, because we sling them around so much, we figured that it was time to, pony up some definitions.
For sure. I think we can maybe leave it where it's at if you guys are okay with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Philip, Grace.
I think it's good in this location.
Summary, yeah. So
it doesn't address Philip's concern about.
Yeah, that's what we need to find next, are the setbacks.
That should be earlier for sure. Where we talk about setbacks. Huh?
I'm not sure how to phrase this one.
Approve, modified, set, or reduced based on the development zone. Has the ability to waive setback requirements. Maybe should we change that? Has the ability.
Has the ability to recommend.
Yeah.
But don't we also waive them? I mean, if we approve a setback that's reduced, it's waived, isn't it?
No, you're
recommend?
recommending. You're just
Okay.
recommending a waiver of that.
Recommending to
So if it's
waive.
approved, it's approved.
Ability to recommend a waiver for setback requirements. Capitals and development zone.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Capital for development zone.
Does that, do you guys feel that that answers what we're trying to achieve?
Yeah, that, I think so.
Yeah.
You want
Philip?
to say
Yeah.
precedence in the developments, because that's really what you look for, right? You
Yeah.
look for precedence
Right.
based on
Based on development zone precedents in the
Okay, good. Go on. Well, this is going to be changed anyway, right? This whole section at some point.
Right. I was thinking maybe we compile it with the terms of reference, but if we're going to change it, maybe keep it separate and then deal with it at that point.
Yeah. Do we need to be more specific? Like what it means to appeal? I mean, it's not that we want to encourage it. So
yeah, let's
we
just leave
just
it.
rely people, I will find it if they.
Yeah, go look at the mayor and council
Yeah,
website.
exactly. Yeah.
do you define party of record?
Yeah.
Because party of record is pretty limited. It's, you know, it has to be Barrio board as a whole. It can't be one of you, the applicant, or the plans review subcommittee. Those are
Oh,
the
so
party
one of us couldn't send a project to the mayor and council?
No, you would have special meeting and you would have to vote on it to appeal. And there's a fee associated with it, and during the appeal period, you can't get a permit. So you're just kind of in a waiting pattern.
Yeah. Oh. Is that legislated that it can only be the whole board? Or I thought Jody in the past also did it alone. Or was that the whole board that?
It's the whole board.
I was the whole board, but he just paid, or how was that?
Yeah, because of course, you know, as a board, we have no funds. So he took it He paid for it out of his own pocket.
I didn't know that there was a vote of the board before that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And it's done within a certain time frame.
Yeah.
It's not 14 days from the date of the decision letter. So if the appeal comes in after that, it's no good.
So then maybe we should at least write that 14 days.
Jody, is that the full list? There's no neighbors or no other interested parties, just the two boards and the applicant?
I'm sorry, to go back to is made within 14 days of the decision letter, because the way it's worded, it makes it sound like went to Barrio. It's actually of the decision letter.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually applicant like / property owner, because sometimes the applicant is different than the property owner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I put this here because I thought it was alphabetical. I'm realizing it's not. So I'm going to move this down to below mayor and council.
And did you have a spot where it said during the appeal period, no permits or the property? Because believe it or not, I get that.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, no? Seems yeah. But yeah, if that, why not?
When we say the historic section, is that the same as the preservation officer? Is that somebody else?
Ask that question again.
Here under PDSD staff, it says the historic section, but we don't reference who that is here. So I just wanted to clarify if that's should be talking about this line here, Tucson Historic Preservation Officer, or not.
Yeah, it's the same. There's two of us. Lately, it feels one of us, but two of us. And I frequently talk about myself in the third person, so whatever happens, I'm okay with.
Okay. Are we saying earlier that what quorum means in the BH in our board? Because often, obviously, these property owners are or applicants are surprised, right? When we don't have quorum, or that's even an issue.
I don't think we missed any meetings though because of not having quorum.
Mm-hmm.
But Jody, isn't that true? Or when Paul left, that was a design guideline meeting, wasn't it?
No, I mean, you've missed like one, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, just one. But I think we should have a definition of quorum. So
It's half plus one. Which is funny because the commission is 18 people. Is currently 18 people. Wait, how does that work? It's normally 23. It has 23 seats, and really 18 people, and their quorum is 12. So that rule of half plus one doesn't apply to them.
Mm-hmm.
But
because they had 23, but they only have 18 seated.
Yeah, it's their quorum is spelled out what makes their quorum. So they have 23 available seats. There currently are 18 members that are appointed, but the way that their quorum is spelled out, they need 12 members for a quorum.
Grace, I would add present onto the end of that. Quorum is 1/2 of the board members plus one present.
I would say 1/2 of appointed board members plus one present at the meeting. Yeah.
Which is obviously weird when you have 15 people. Yeah. Right. 8.5 board members, but it's fine.
Yeah. 9.
Grace, can I ask a question? Why is quorum put where it's at right now? Is there something I'm not seeing?
That's a glossary, basically.
Okay, that's a gloss. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
So we would, but I would mention the quorum in the BHHCAB line.
But aren't you already, to go back to that, aren't you already spelling preservation, restoration, reconstruction, and rehabilitation, but you have them under terms of reference? So you're kind of repeating that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right. This is a summary of the standards.
Isn't it also to the commission as well? It's not just PDSD, because our recommendations go to the commission.
They go to the PDSD director. The courtesy, they are heard by PRS.
Okay.
But
okay.
in reality, PRS can make their own recommendation. They just like to hear what you guys said.
Hmm.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
We love looking at your house.
All right, so now we're into terms of reference.
Oh, is this where you had in mind, Philip? I put it here under, I guess we're doing it twice, right? We have it under terms of
Good.
reference.
I
We
think
also
it's
have
better
it-
the way you had it. I think it's better. It's better the thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't mix the terms down there. That's. I think you did really well. Yeah. Better. Yeah. Okay.
So the contributing non-historic and the contributing, I think that's the only one. The contributing non-historic. Do you actually have any of those called out in district? Mostly I see those.
Yeah. They are. They are. You can find those called out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
In the documents. I think it's on the National Register.
there, it's in the register, and I can't tell you which buildings, thank you. I have to go back and look.
Yeah. But we have, when we do the research, when we do projects in the barrio, we find it.
Okay.
But I'm a bit confused here. Like, why is it sometimes 40 and 45, 1940 and 1945? Is that right? Or is there different things going on, or what's the thing there?
Are you asking me that?
Yes.
I can't speak to why there's a age difference between 1940 and 1945.
Yeah, it should be. I would think 1945.
In the text, otherwise it was 45, and this is, well,
Yeah.
this is like an overlap. But either it's historic or it's not historic, right? I mean,
Yeah.
can you choose
it is.
that?
So we recently ran into this. I asked because I don't recall you guys having anybody non-historic, and the only HPZ that I know has it is Fort Lowell, because Fort Lowell is Fort Lowell. And it came into question recently because there were a number of properties that were considered contributing non-historic. They were used in the development zone as comparable properties, and somebody had a conniption about it and to the SHPO, and SHPO was like, what's this language? We don't know about this language. Yeah, because it's not language in National Register, it's contributing or non-contributing. It's pretty, or you're individually listed. I mean, the contributing historic and it's not a language. That's local language. But if you guys don't even have that in your district, I don't know why you would want to know about it.
We have to look, check. National.
I'm not even come up on the map.
You know what? That the contributing
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
That comes up when you have a building that's sort of, it's like just before it's 50. It's in that it's contributing, but for some reason it's like it's just on the margins. There have been a couple, when I've dealt with some other districts, you have those that are just outside the time period but in 2 years or a year or even 6 months, it becomes a historic contributing building. I've had those that sort of sit on the cusp.
But it doesn't unless you amend the nomination. So even if it's like now within the realm to be a contributing property, unless you actually amend the nomination, it doesn't become contributing property. It stays, its status will stay the same. But you do have a historic landmark in your district.
Where's that list? Do you guys remember the one with that lists every address? Oh.
That's in the TSM, I think. And that's also out of date, just so you know.
Yes, but still, this is where it would appear.
Yeah, that's a good place to look. I think it's in the TSM. I'm like 85% sure.
Doesn't look like it. Or is there somewhere else it might be?
Did we take them out? I've seen it in the papers.
I can look in all.
Oh, here we go. No, I did find it, Jody. You're right.
Oh, you did. Where? Where did you find it?
Oh, there, contribute. Well,
yeah.
Is this what you're looking for, a list?
Not historic, not contributed. Yeah, exactly. There was one. CN. Contributing, not historic. That's, I think, what that means, no?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a few of those. Look.
Okay. They're probably just not called out on the map.
Mm-hmm.
They're just called out as non-contributors in the map.
The map never really, it's not very good, the map.
Yeah, I know the map
coordinated with the spreadsheet, yeah.
Well, because that spreadsheet is out of date. So, because the spreadsheet is static. I mean, it doesn't ever change unless you update the map, update that code.
Mm-hmm. But why does it need to be? Yeah, well, if it, yeah.
Why does it need? Because stuff gets approved, or it gets demolished, or they put up a fence.
Understood, but rarely would a structure that a new structure won't suddenly be historic, you know, or contributing non-historic. You know? I mean, is Rick's new old thing? No, I don't think so.
And sometimes you have properties that are restored.
Yeah.
That then get
that slip back. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but look, I think it's a relevant term because it's in the code. Jody.
It's up to you. I know that I didn't realize you had one.
We have a lot.
Yeah.
Somebody defined them.
This is one of the things that we're going to take out, though. I mean, this is proposed.
Well, you do it when you do it. I mean, in the moment, you know. It was a good tool for us as designers, honestly. You know, it really helps clarifying what's going on in the development zone.
Jody, were you saying the GIS is more up to date?
The GIS needs to be, we have to go back and fix up on all the districts because it's always changing, but it is probably more up to date than that is. I don't know the last time that was updated.
1995.
Yeah, probably.
Almost 30 years.
Ugh. Make me feel old.
That's a generation, yeah. Okay. Shall we go back or?
Yeah.
Well, I still think we should probably say 45 because always above we say 45 is, everything is historic until then.
Well, what's your period of significance end?
I thought it said 45.
45.
Yeah.
Then 40, yeah, 45 would be appropriate.
What does non-contributing all buildings mean? That doesn't make sense to me at least.
Somebody got time.
All buildings that don't meet the other criteria. I mean, or is it all buildings after 1945 that don't meet other criteria, or?
I'm just copying the language from below.
Uh-huh. But I would say, isn't every building before 45 contributing? So would be all building structures after 1945.
Period, that's it.
Or is there ever a building before 45 within the parameters of the? I mean, here we even don't say the age. I mean, it has to be somewhere very clear. No, this was good. Grace, I think that was correct what you took out.
Yeah. You got it.
So we want to add up here what the age is.
If it's really defined, I don't know. I'm not sure about these things. Do you know, Mary Lou?
I'm sorry. What was the question?
In contributing historic, it says within the parameters of the inclusive HPZ district, including age, but we could be more specific.
Period of significance.
Ah. Yeah, but would we not spell that out, that period?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. I mean, that helps people.
The period of significance for Barrio is a little wonky. But you also have, technically you have Barrio Libre and Barrio El Hoyo.
Right.
That are in the HPZ. So there's 2 periods of significance, isn't there? Um,
(1860 to 1920), and then
1908 to 1950.
yeah.
It's the 1860s. It's actually 1860s with an S. That's why you're a little wonky.
So I'm confused a bit. So
What are you confused about,
the
Phil?
National Historic Places about the Barrio is it Hoyo?
Loyal.
Hoyo. Oh. No, I need to find the one for Barrio Libre, right? No, and that's until 1950, right?
Barrio El Hoyo is till 1950, 1908 to 1950.
Yeah.
Barrio Libre is the 1860s to something, 1940 something.
I can't find that document. Where did you see the Barrio Libre?
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Because it's old.
Yeah.
The document is old?
Mary Lou, what did you have down for Barrio Libre, the period of significance?
I'm sorry?
What did you have as the period of significance?
I think we were using the National Register.
No, and what? Oh, no. And what? Yeah. What was the year that you had, the end year?
That says something 1860 to 1920s, I think.
20
Yeah, in the National Red, but
for the National Register.
yeah, but that sounds kind of not, I mean, that's
We're-
a low ambition, right?
Yeah. We're probably better off to use the bracketing dates for both El Hoyo as well as Libre.
Well, Aloyo is, you can find the document easily. Did you see it?
It's a new district.
Sorry? Yeah, it's newer. So
It's
that
a
is
newer
really, yeah, in the National Register, that's a very clear document that line mentions it. I think that's a good source, but I don't find it for. Yeah, there's only what you said, Marilu, in that really old document from 1976 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can ask Shippo for clarification and we come back to it.
Sure.
That would be great. Thanks. Is that a non-historic contributing, Grace? Grace, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Yes, it is. That's why I looked at it.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. Okay, what's next?
Okay, intrusion, starting with intrusion and going down through compatibility, I guess.
Yeah, I had a question about the language here again. Sorry if we already went over this, but these buildings are most likely have been added to the district in this time frame. What is that? I guess what does that mean? If
That
the
means
period of
these
significance were to
buildings-
be extended through 1945, they would be added?
No, if they were built after the period of significance, which we assume now all the time because it comes up so much. 1940 was 1945. So there's buildings that can be considered contributing even if they were built after 1945.
Which seems kind of funny if our period of significance only goes to 1920.
Right, but we don't know that yet. You are going to find out for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out for you. I would change added to constructed.
Okay, yeah.
I think that probably clarifies what you're looking for, Grace.
Yeah, no, it does. Thank you. So Jody, you said we do have a landmark. Which one is that?
Oh, it's
El Tiradito.
El Tiradito.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Ocean Shrine. Okay, landmark status in the future. There we go.
Okay. Personally, I like that paragraph on compatibility.
Yeah.
It's soft and, but it's just, you know, it's a hard term to define, but I think I don't take any issue with it. But I think it gives us enough in our hands to talk about it. Harmonious, sympathetic, and complementary. Great. And then I don't understand why suddenly the accessory structures, I mean, yeah, must be compatible, but wouldn't, like, seems a bit random that that pops up here. Was that, where does that come from? Is that, did Armory Park do that part like this? Or
No, I think the term compatible, that part should go.
I think this is all the definition, right?
Yeah. And accessory structures. We should define what accessory structures are, and then you can say.
So, yeah, do we have that further up? Or
I'm not sure we do.
Is it defined in the UDC?
Mhm. Yeah, 662. Let me see. Wait, no.
I don't know that it's in the UDC. When I'm looking at historic property and I'm thinking accessory structures, I think of, garages, chicken coops.
Well, they're called ADUs these days, right? Everywhere.
They're called what?
ADUs, isn't that the same thing? Accessory dwelling unit. Or is that just for living in it? It's not a garage.
I think living in it.
I think that's for living.
Uh,
A lot of the accessory structures sometimes end up being like garages,
Sheds.
sheds, storage sheds,
no,
chicken
yeah, it's
coops.
a hard one. Paul, in your case, the house, both your houses are accessory structures for code. It's
Right.
anything that's not the main structure.
Well, we ran into the problem, Philip. The Adobe, I think, is the accessory structure. Remember, we couldn't have an accessory structure in front of a primary structure.
Well,
Isn't
yeah,
that the case?
correct. But then I think, yeah, they saw the Adobe as the primary at first. And then the accessory couldn't be bigger than the primary. And
Right, that's what it was.
Yeah, it was confused. And then, yeah, the main house cannot be behind the accessory. It's crazy. So I don't see it.
Yeah, it looks like they have a whole section defining what it is in reference to what it's not, which I think is going to be not really appropriate for our situation.
So
The buildings used for accessory uses.
Wood, like a woodshed, chicken coop, garage, storage.
So are we saying, do we need to say what it is for our purpose? Or, yeah, we need to.
Yeah.
Is any structure that is not the main
Could be
structure?
garage, chicken coop, storage, woodshed.
But an ADU is also an accessory structure, you know, and we want this to apply to an ADU.
I would say detached garages, just to be clear.
Yeah, detached garages. I was thinking specifically of my office. It has a detached garage.
But is there ever a structure that's not the main structure, that's not a accessory structure? Like every structure beyond the main structure is an accessory structure, no?
No, didn't you have a couple of years ago, because of the zoning, they were allowed two principal structures, even though there were two structures. They were both principal structures, or the primary structures, or whatever.
Maybe you're talking about Paolo's house, as you see in the background. That was a main structure and an accessory structure. The second house was considered, there was two accessory structures in the end. One main house and two accessory structures. One is an ADU and the other is a real, you know, an accessory. I don't think there's two main structures. They don't allow that.
Isn't it just based on zoning though? I thought that was what happened the one time.
Based on zoning, two main structures. I can't remember. I don't know how that works.
Because there was a dude who came. I don't think it was you. He wanted to make it so that there was like basically a courtyard. So he had like main habitable space and two start. It was something weird. It was a few years ago.
Was this the one where they made them make it like a full courtyard? I think this guy came back multiple times.
Oh, yes.
Is that the one on South Meyer?
Yes, you're right. It's
the little yellow house.
Yeah. What's his name? Chris.
No, that's not the one I was thinking of. There was another guy. I know which one you guys are thinking of. And they made him attach it in the end and do
right. Yeah.
Yeah. He was argumentative. But there was another guy.
Was it on 18th?
I can't even remember the address. I just remember it was like it was the zoning that was related that have two.
But the zoning doesn't allow for two main structures. I don't know how that could work.
I could just be making it up too. So
I think you can't make that work. And if you want something like that, you have to go to the Board of Adjustment. I don't think the zoning, I mean, I don't, not when we tried to look for it. That would have made it easier at the time.
Okay, so are we happy with that definition of an accessory structures?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but now a guy could come and say, I have two main structures. And we had that problem with a guy on Maine, on the west side of Maine.
Who's that?
Yeah, it's Caddy corner from you. He has a huge two-story in the back.
It had the two-story in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yes.
Because you don't know which one is the main structure. But it definitely would have helped us at the time to call out the main structure, because then the next guy who comes and wants to do the same thing, we can say, no way. You know, because that definitely didn't work wasn't compatible. But he had gotten it through historically somehow, and then
Okay,
Other
'cause
people
here,
came and were
there's some
referencing.
clarification here, buildings versus structures. Construction principally shelter human activities such as guest house, secondary residence, sleeping quarters, and studios, and structures, constructions for purposes other than human shelter, such as garages, carports. Tucson Code distinguishes between the primary structure and the accessory structures. All structures enumerated above must be accessory structures.
This doesn't say much. It just says that there might be accessory structures, but it doesn't say anything about primary structures. Right? I mean, maybe we don't need to. Where is it in the that section in the code, UDC?
Did it switch over for you?
Oh my internet is really painful.
Yeah, so this says that an accessory use or structure must be built together with or after the construction of the principal use or building.
So you couldn't get away, you couldn't build two primary structures on a lot and term one primary and one secondary. Is that, or am I just totally confused?
I don't think that exists as secondary.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's primary and accessory, but no.
So yeah, this language says incidental. Is that critical, or is that accessory sort of covers that? I'm trying to figure out what the critical piece is that makes it, accessory. We can say, we can list in there anything other than the primary, or one building or structure is primary, and then everything else is accessory.
Yeah.
But we want to make some caveat that if they're, I don't know, what if somebody purchased a property that has an accessory structure on it?
Exactly. And then that was Paolo's thing. There was an accessory structure.
Right.
So it didn't comply at all with the code here. Yeah. Okay, maybe one step back. What do we need this for?
Mm-hmm.
We're trying. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just thinking we want to be able to distinguish, like with that garage job, whether we're referencing accessory structures or primary structures within the development zone.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also mentioned that 2 stories, so we want to make some reference to the hierarchy as well, right?
Yeah. And it was the primary structure. Okay, yeah, I think that's a good word, hierarchy. That the hierarchy between the primary and the accessory structures must be clearly maintained or something.
So then back to Mary Lou's point, do we want to make a distinction between buildings and structures? Or the Secretary of Interior is doing that?
I think this is not in conflict with anything, yeah, but I don't, yeah. I don't see why this would be. What does this reference to? Is that the SOIs?
Yeah, buildings are usually, and it's very clearly stated, it's shelter, human activities, such as a guest house, secondary residence, sleeping quarters, and studios. And structures are other than human shelters, such as garages, carports, wood sheds, chicken coops.
So I think this section is really telling an applicant, even if it's a secondary dwelling, if it's for people, it's still an accessory structure. Is that the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just get rid of this. That's not right. So,
Okay.
so yeah, so back to compatibility. So this paragraph we're happy with. These two paragraphs are also sitting within that definition, I guess. If this one is doing it, maybe we just don't need the rest.
Yeah, exactly. Do we need to mention it still at the compatibility? And then we'll, oh, well, I like that. That's a good one. That's good, I would say. You haven't said that clearly anywhere.
I agree with that second paragraph. I think that the first paragraph is well written, but the second paragraph gets down to the we don't want you to replicate.
I think this is good.
Sounds good. So when somebody asks, or when we decide on a continuance, do they need to come back at this? Is there a time limit before they come back? Like it needs to be the next meeting, or they could postpone it for a year and then come back?
Usually they come back, to the next meeting.
Yeah, because they're eager to have it over.
They're eager to move things forward.
It's not right. Continuance is an applicant requested postponement, because you as the board members can make a motion to continue the project.
Yeah.
Because there's information missing or something like that. So it's not
either an applicant requests to postpone it.
Oh, is it either way?
Yeah.
It could be way. Mostly times it's you guys though,
Yeah, exactly.
requesting the continuance. The applicants don't want to continue, just want to barrel.
Oh.
Let's.
But they can, I mean, we give them the chance to do that or not. If they may choose so. Because they can ask, let us continue because we don't want a no vote, you know?
Yeah, but sometimes it just gets continued because you want
Yeah,
more
no, but
information,
I think,
you want to
yes,
redesign.
but I think this paragraph should encompass both those scenarios.
Yes.
So let's not take out what's
Gotcha.
in there. We just need to add that the board also
Understood, okay.
Request a postponement or suggest a postponement or decides or whatever. If, yeah. Or the board. Huh? I don't know.
The board, is that what you said?
I think so. Yeah, then it's clear, you know.
Okay.
It's us.
Okay, is either an applicant or the board requests postponement based upon the board's recommendation during a design review?
Based on the board.
Based upon the board.
So they're requesting to postpone a recommendation.
Yeah, okay. I didn't read it. I don't know. Courtesy review.
Hmm. That's not right, because what about a continuance, right? It does not.
You could say that it provides the applicant feedback on the proposed project.
Jody, did they have to pay for a courtesy review or no?
As of right now, they do not. We
Okay.
take those
Is that
out.
changing?
Not if I have my way.
Okay.
but I've had a bit of an argument with somebody about it.
They should probably pay the board when we get around to the fifth courtesy review.
Yeah. I think we should also maybe write some language in there that we limit how many reviews we do. Courtesy for the same project.
I think we did that in the beginning. We talked a lot
Did we?
about that in the beginning. Yeah, we can check it, but yeah, we did.
And Armory Park did something similar. Limited it to like 2 courtesy reviews or something.
Okay, 1.
There we go, 2 courtesy reviews. We'll offer,
Oh, here it is. Sorry, I didn't see that.
yeah,
I
it
got you.
offers no more than 2 courtesy reviews per application.
Under development zone, it says a little historical context first. Should that be a comma instead of a period?
Yeah, I think that probably should be.
Oh, and you probably want to highlight the 1940 since we're still calling that into question. The 1860s is right. It's the end date that we. So, third paragraph down, zones are primarily used for new construction. Public institutional structures within the development zone are not considered to be part of the development zone when evaluating proposed development on an adjacent property, except blah, 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 blah. It actually doesn't say that in the code.
What does it say in the code?
It just says contributing property, or you use contributing properties. It doesn't distinguish between use.
Yeah, well, I think we have to. I mean, there came that case up where somebody was trying to use Carrillo School as a building height.
Yeah.
It's completely inappropriate.
Or they've used the temple as an example for height.
Right. And the bell tower's 35 feet
Yeah,
tall.
exactly.
I mean, I think we leave it unless you think it's going to create us problems.
Well, I wonder what if somebody was proposing a public or institutional structure, I guess. It would be inappropriate for housing. Maybe we just need to make some comment about how the use is relevant to whether or not it's appropriate.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, that we just kind of classify that residential housing cannot use commercial structures in their development zone. But commercial structures can use. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like comparing oranges to oranges and not apples to oranges.
Sorry, Paolo, I just muted you accidentally. I was meaning to unmute myself.
She's done.
You may get some argument because it's not actually called out like that in the code. Paolo, you have to unmute yourself. I muted you accidentally when I was trying to unmute myself. Sorry.
Did you hear what Grace was saying about having the residential structures not use the commercial structures in the HPZ, but commercial structures can use commercial structures within the HPZ? Am I still muted?
No, you're not.
No.
Oh, we just don't want people that are building a house using one of the churches or the temples to justify a 40-foot building height. I think it's reasonable to state that. We want to have residential structures be compared to other residential structures in the HPZ and not compared to commercial structures.
I get it. I'm just saying you're probably going to have some because it's not.
Well, let's leave it. And if we have pushback, we'll redefine it.
When it says,
what do you guys think? I don't want to be the.
No, I think what Grace suggested is good. It tells them that they need to compare a commercial to commercial and residential to residential.
Yeah. So let's maybe write that in there. Did you already write that, Grace?
No, I haven't yet. I was thinking of how to edit it, and then this first sentence didn't make any sense to me, and so I got a little stuck.
But aren't there, in certain instances, isn't multifamily sometimes considered commercial?
It's residential. What? It's still considered residential.
Yeah.
It's considered residential from a zoning standpoint, but commercial from a building code standpoint. I think. I mean, I defer to Jody on what the zoning code says.
Oh. Don't defer me on that. But I just know in some instances multifamily is referred to as commercial, and I don't know what those instances are. I couldn't tell you. I've just heard that.
Yeah, I think that's an IBC IRC thing. That would be my guess.
So with that, you're saying that we shouldn't even add that language in because a 5-story residential building would be commercial, and then they could use the Temples or Carrillo as a building height, and we don't want that. Jody?
Yeah, I'm just saying it's prickly. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's prickly.
Yeah, maybe something more vague. Like consider
Is this gender here? Okay, so we are just living in this decision of title. We just found out we were supposed to
consider the primary use of the proposed structure when evaluating the development zone for precedence.
and this one fell through their hands or whatever it's called.
Precedent design should be of a compatible building use.
Yeah.
Or similar?
So it just means
the same?
Precedent design should be of the same building use. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So this sentence that says zones are primarily used for new construction, what does that mean?
I'm not sure.
I would get rid of that sentence. It's weird.
Okay.
So it's a piece of paper that
Public and institution.
Yeah, that's correct.
located in a unincorporated area for the
Except
Oh, you know what's in there is when evaluating proposed residential development.
Right, so we
public institutional structures within part of the dwelling zone when evaluating proposed development.
But does it make a difference if it's residential or not?
well, did you hear what Jody said, Philip, about that's not in the code?
The public and institutional structures.
Right.
Yeah, it is, I think.
I was looking just the other day and I didn't see it.
I remember that we, yeah.
I think we just leave it, and if we have pushback from it, then we
This
deal
had
with
always
it.
to do with Carrillo.
It's very important to keep that in there.
Yep.
Because every time I look, I just see contributing, non-contributing. I didn't see uses.
There is something. I mean, I know that for sure because we looked it up.
Yeah, this is not the first time that that's come up.
Yeah, especially when, you know, it's Carrillo normally that triggers us thinking about this. Yeah.
I think you're still in the TSM.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Oh, that's not it. Hmm.
Okay. Okay, I can't.
Okay, the last sentence, let's see, public and institutional structures within the development zone are not considered to be part of the development zone when evaluating proposed development. Okay. But you've got to say what sort of development.
Uh-huh.
And we're thinking at least residential.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's critical. Because if you do an office building or a school building, then you're anyway exempt, no? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why was the teatro not, why was that exempt? Was that ownership or use?
Exempt from review?
Yeah.
I think it was Pima County ownership.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yeah, I
originally,
think that.
yeah.
What was exempt?
That was
The Teatro
that was
Carmen
it was private
Oh,
ownership,
yeah,
and then
it's
it
because of the
reverted
county.
to
Oh.
County.
the county.
Are you guys seeing the UDC?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so in the definition for development zone, it looks like Philip was right. It does say that public and institutional structures are not considered to be part of the development zone.
Well done, Grace.
Hey,
That's
Grace,
very
amazing.
straightforward.
Yeah.
So we're running up on 6, guys. I have to go.
Yeah.
Do we want to finish off this little section and then leave the rest for the next one?
Mhm.
Yeah, let's do that.
How far did we get?
Bottom of
started
page
on
40.
35, so we're 5 pages through.
Yeah.
Or 6 maybe.
And how many more? Another 4.
41. Yeah,
So
but
one
these
more
are all
call at
links,
least.
so
Yeah.
just like 2 more.
Mhm. So one more call at least, and then revision.
So I think we had scheduled one for
The end of the
May.
month, was it?
Are we holding that?
I
let's do
can't
it.
do it, but you can. Yeah. We said if this one doesn't work out, we said we're gonna do the other one. That was the at least.
Oh,
my-
it was just it
Yeah, it
either
was a
or.
Uh-huh.
filler, just in case.
Gotcha.
Okay,
I
so
don't
we
think-
should probably schedule one more.
I didn't schedule anything for the end of the month, but can if you want me to.
Philip,
Do
are
you
you
see
available?
anything?
I have the next board meeting. I'm gonna have a hard time. Sorry
Jody,
for
are you
that.
expecting any projects at the next board meeting?
This time, but we could. I mean, it's a month away.
But nothing has been. Well, you know of projects, right? I mean,
Mostly. But I haven't, I mean, I don't think I have anything percolating right now.
we have a hold on the 1st of May.
Yes.
So, and then we, as you say, we don't know if we are gonna meet the week after. I would say yeah. Like, wouldn't be the smartest be to keep the one in the week after and make that a guideline meeting if it doesn't happen, and otherwise we make another guideline meeting.
Let's do that.
Okay, so what did we decide on? I had to go get my book.
Okay, we said if there's nothing on the agenda for the next official meeting or regular meeting for the next regular meeting, then it will be also a guideline meeting.
Okay, so the 8th
Correct.
of May.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to take the one off for the 1st?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, Jody, any staff updates quickly?
No, Michael's
Okay.
back.
What's
That's
that?
about it. Michael's back. He's been gone for the last month. So.
Oh, okay. So let's do an adjournment. Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
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 Hi.
Great. Everybody, thank you very much. And we'll talk in a
Thank
couple
you.
weeks.
See you in a few
Thanks,
Have a
weeks.
good night.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.